Welcome to TLC for the Soul podcast, where soul meets spirit. You have entered into sacred space. I'm your host, TAMI Chambers, and I'm here to help you shine. Now let's get going on this podcast journey. Hello, friends. Hello, and welcome to a new show, another show. This is part 2 of our Galahad transmission on the Grail Quest. If you have not heard part 1, I will link to the playlist for this experiential at the end of this either YouTube video, or I will put a link to the YouTube playlist in the podcast show notes. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me here. New friends of the show, settle in. These episodes can stand alone. However, if you're doing the full experiential with us, there is a part 1. There is also a PDF printable thingy protocol that goes along with this experiential, and I have a link to that in part 1 of this show as well. It's also on my website, and the link to that is also in the notes of this show, and you can pop over to my website. There's a page for all the experientials, and the PDF download printable thingy is in there as well. Returning listeners, TLC for the Soul family members, thank you for joining me here yet again. If you listen to these when they drop, I've sufficiently recovered from all the giggles, I think, from the short I did the other day, from the Stallion Returns. Oh my gosh, I had to listen to that. I'm telling you, I'm the one that creates all the views on these podcast shows. I swear that day I listened to that episode like 10 times because I just was in every time I listened to it, I was just laughing and laughing. Anyway, let's just get us all into sacred space. Just clear your space. Just gonna ring this little bell. Gonna clear the energy. I wrap us all in love light and light love, inviting in the guides to overlight this show, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron. We're also working with Sir Galahad and Shamanic ancestors and elders. I'm lighting the whiskey and oak crackling wood wick candle for us. This episode, or this second part of the transmission, does seem to be all about healing. When I channeled earlier today the second part of this from Galahad, and I knew, just quote knowingness, like this is going to be like a healing episode where we need to work on the heart space. And he just kept telling me he wanted me to use the drum. So I have the shaman's drum here. I've also brought out the shaman's drum oracle deck, my deck. We're going to take a look at that. And so I'm going to read the second part of the transmission. I kind of want to just quickly, let me see if I can find it before I just jump into that. This is my website. I want to just touch on, before we do that, the protocols to see how you're doing. So if you embark on an experiential with me, then it kind of weaves in and around your daily life, and and in this case, the guides of this experiential gave us a set of protocols. Oh my God, that is much too slow. Why is my website not Mercury retrograde? They gave us a set of protocols of things to do on a daily basis to make sure that we were keeping our energy kind of high and vibing high. Okay, I think I found it. So let me just review those just quickly. The daily protocol, because the answers are inside you, was kind of the theme of this Grail Quest. So they said for daily emotional exercise, 5 minutes of getting outdoors and appreciating something in nature. That should be easy enough to do. Daily mental exercise. Take a mental timeout. Allow yourself at least 10 minutes a day where you leave your thoughts aside and do something you love just because. I say it's easy to do, like, right, that's my daily life is mainly right now, obviously it's mainly contemplation, creativity, taking care of my son and my dog and my house, and writing books and making oracle decks, and I'm pretty much immersed in spirit all day long. So I totally recognize that everybody that listens to this podcast is not, living that kind of life. And maybe it is a challenge for you to take time out of your day. And I think, and they're having me stop on this mental one and spend a little bit of time here. So I think it's more of a challenge for you to, and just asking the guides to guide my words, keep me on track. Don't let me diatribe too much unless it's necessary for what we're talking about here. But I think it's a challenge for you to bounce back and forth from the 3D to the 5D. Like, you may be totally immersed in tasks or your work or your career or your family life or whatever, and to ask you to like jump out and get spiritual for 10 minutes, like, may be a challenge. But it takes practice, okay? It's like any other habit that you, if you're serious about it, any other habit that you are trying to incorporate into your life takes at least 7 days to like get it kind of ingrained, and about 30 days of doing it religiously every day, really committing yourself to it. So if you can commit yourself to like making your meals or go to the bathroom or taking a bath, I mean, you can commit yourself to some of these tasks, which is why I think the guides set the time frames. Like 10 minutes is, by the time you think about it and sit down to do it, 10 minutes is almost gone. But it's more so the practice of doing it. And the way they've structured these is to get you more like into, I get it's almost like these times are like a reward. Like, I get my 5 minutes of getting outdoors and appreciating something in nature, even if I just open the window and stick my head outside for a few minutes and look at that tree over there or whatever. And then I get back to what I'm doing. I think that's what they're getting at, or that's what you're working towards. Well, I definitely didn't want to do that. Daily physical exercise, imperative to release. I can't see what I'm writing. I can't read my own writing. Imperative to release, here we go, stress through physical activity, at least 15 minutes a day of cardio or high impact activity. For example, high intensity intervals, hiking, jogging, swimming, just something. 15 minutes a day is not very much. I've found like a ton of YouTube videos that are like high impact interval training stuff that's like 15 minutes long. And if I do that every day, then that to me, for me and just my stamina levels, that works better than me trying to take like today and go spend an hour trying to jog or whatever, and then I'm too tired and sore tomorrow to do it again for like 2 or 3 days. So that just works. And then daily spiritual exercise, take time to honor how far you've come. Spend 5 to 10 minutes a day in meditation or silent reflection on how the previous 24 hours has gone. Go easy on yourself, but also be honest about where you can improve. I personally would do this at the end of the day, but it's entirely up to you. But you notice there's no meditation in here. So I do like the fact that they gave us some things that weren't meditation for those of you that feel like, that's not your thing or whatever. All right, so let me get into the transmission, because I do kind of have a lot to cover, and I don't like to keep you guys like forever. I'm trying to make these slightly shorter now, like 30 to 45 minutes, because I understand it takes a lot of time to sit down and listen to an hour-long video. Okay, hold on. Flute guy is really... just a little bit more than I want. Okay, let's just do some silence and listen to the candle. That was way too much. He's distracting me. All right, let's get into the transmission. I like it because you can hear the candle now. All right. And my stomach growling, apparently. Okay, so this is Galahad Transmission Part 2. And he comes in, whenever he comes in for me, he comes in with a lot of French. And so I do know a little bit, but it's been a long time since I've practiced. So the title of this transmission is La Raison d'être, which is like the reason for being. And this is channeled from Sir Galahad. I'm going to sneeze. Okay. Hold on one second. Whew. You guys, here we go. Once you have achieved a level of contentment in your soul, you must address the old things that need to go. So many times we reach a level that seems like it is in perfect alignment, and then some old haunt or unforgiveness comes to the surface to bury you yet again in a feeling of regret or nostalgia that may have nothing to do with the current moment. The retrogrades right now are causing a lot of that. Mercury retrograde, the Venus retrograde. Then your day is wasted on reliving old haunts over and over again in your mind and emotions. This gets you nowhere, and even is conducive to a feeling that can then weigh so heavily upon you that your physical form is then affected. We must release the old to bring in the new. And while you may have heard this many times, and the teachings are in essence timeless, then it goes without saying that they are in spiritual truth the way to a true, compassionate, and loving heart. The heart, dear souls, requires sustenance and care, for with a hardened heart comes great inner turmoil and outer misery. The guidance here is to allow the old to fall away without regret and without self-flagellation. You must forgive and be forgiven to break free. The Grail calls for you to unbind yourself from your attachments and to set yourself free. Will you answer the call to this freedom? Avec amour, Galahad. With love, Galahad. So it's a short, this one's a little bit shorter than the first one, but it's definitely all about heart healing, and the Grail kind of being your own inner sanctity and your own like feeling of oneness and peace and contentment. So let me just, I don't know, there's a lot of allergens in the air. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's just pull out Shaman's Drum, see where we want to focus. I'm inviting in the guides from this deck. Let's just shuffle a few of these cards. As heart healing is very broad, what do you want us to do here? Oh, cards fell out in my lap. The first card we got is Thistle. Preserve and protect our lands. Earth Guardians unite. But I don't think this card is so much Earth Guardians as it is. This Thistle thing is very prickly, almost like, they're bringing me to like Burryman. What the heck is that? Hold on. I have to look this up. What is it called? It's like, you guys help me find this. No, not Bird Mansion. There's like a guy. Yes. Is this it? Let me just make... Yes! The Burryman, or Burryman, 2 words, is the central figure in an annual ceremony or ritual, the Burryman's Parade, that takes place in the South Queensferry area of Edinburgh on the south bank of the For Firth the 4th in Scotland on the second Friday of August. The custom is associated with, but separate from, the town's ferry fair. Ferry, not the boat, not the ferries. The ceremony, let's see. Origins and history. There are many theories about the origin of the custom. So it's this guy who like dresses up like with burrs all over him. And one idea is, and then they parade around, and he like goes about the town. And it says one idea is that this parade, where the Burryman is there, was intended to ward off evil spirits. It can certainly ward off children, some of whom are terrified at the very sight of the Burryman and avoid looking him in the eye. It has been suggested he carries on a pagan tradition thousands of years old, a symbol of rebirth, regeneration, and fertility similar to the Green Man. But there's something else about this too, about him like picking up like it's like the burrs are sticky, and it like picks up like all the bad energy and like takes it away, all the bad luck and all the bad energy and stuff. And when I look at the burrs, I shouldn't really be on Wikipedia because it's like the most generic of meanings, but the picture of the burrs in this Wikipedia picture looks like the picture of this thistle on my card. So there's something here about a prickly, didn't he say in his transmission something about it's like having a prickly heart. So a heart that's closed to love and kind of has its stickers out, like don't get too close to me. I'm prickly and I might, I could hurt you or whatever. And you know, I feel that way sometimes too. Like sometimes when I'm like irritated or just tired, you know, I don't feel like being, I am unconditionally loving, but I just like don't feel like talking to people or, you know, like get out of my space. So this has something to do with like clearing the space and opening the heart and reducing like sanding off the burrs of your heart in a sense. And then the other card that came out with the thistle card was Twilight. As the light recedes, you are asked to conserve your energy and recharge your soul. So this twilight energy or this golden hour is kind of more at the end of the day, like at sunset. And maybe that's the only time that some of you feel like you can really kick back from your day and, you know, recharge. And it's kind of at the end of the day, you know, and all day long things are attaching themselves to your burrs, your burriness, and kind of weighing you down. So it feels like, it doesn't feel heavy to me. This heart feels just like kind of irritated and kind of tired and maybe a little stuck in the same old routine and maybe just can't really see the way forward yet. Not that there's not a way forward, but that you just can't maybe see they're saying like see the forest for the trees. So you want me to check the bottom of the deck, and then we are going to do, it seems more like a general, oh my gosh. The bottom of the deck is Wolf Clan. This Wolf Clan. This is Soul Family. So all my wolf shifters that are out there. And this is like a Soul Family card. Wolf Clan is you will find the true meaning of camaraderie and companionship when you join in with this clan. And there is a card also wanting to show itself to me underneath that, which is White Buffalo. This is a time of great miracles and portents. Meditate with the white buffalo to gain clarity. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pull that. So I've got 4 cards. We're going to take you in with the drum. So we're going to have some guides come in and do some cleaning around, just overall cleaning. It's not going deep within the heart necessarily. It's doing some overall cleansing to get that irritated vibe off and to open your heart even more. I feel like I have the Navajo Windtalkers coming in. At the same time, I feel like this white buffalo is going to be showing itself to you in some way through this little mini journey that we're going to be doing. And maybe throughout your day, you know, something having to do, a white buffalo obviously isn't very common, but like you could meditate with you could find a picture of a white buffalo or white buffalo calf woman, spirit guide. Oh, I got big chills there. So she's here. So, oh, mercy. So white buffalo calf woman is someone to meditate with. And then the wolves, this wolf pack, almost like power animals, sound like they're going to be coming in as well. So I know each of you will have a different experience. Let me just pick up the drum and get a sense for how they want me to do this. So they want you to lay back somewhere comfortable where you can close your eyes. They're saying you may fall asleep. So it's okay. Like if you want to save this until the end of your day, when you're laying down in bed, they're like, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter so much that you hear me talking to you about stuff. It matters more about what's happening behind the scenes, more about what the guides are going to reveal to you and show to you through the drumming. Through this particular drum, which his and through apparently light language that just keeps wanting to come through. So you may fall asleep and then you might dream about wolves or the white buffalo, or you may have a loved one come into your dream time and share some things with you that will help you unburden your heart. So there may be some unburdening of your heart space in dream time with another person. Or there may be some clarity that comes to you in your dream time. So let's get comfortable. Close your eyes, lay down. Let's take a deep breath. They want me to take a deep breath 5 times. So 5 times. This is number 2. Take a deep breath. Three, take a deep breath. You're getting very drowsy now. 4, take a deep breath. 5, take a deep breath. You're in a twilight trance now. In a space between waking and falling asleep. You are healed. Every time the Grail is the light within you, you are healed.
Nya yak ya hari ya chut yut inyaraka. We are one. The wolf, heal you now. The raven, you hear it now. The dove, the love, the call within you. Arise, arise, your heart. It calls you to arise. Taken to a clearing. Your wolf is there to greet you. There's a gift for you, deep in the thickness of his fur. Retrieve that gift now. Hold it up to the light. Put that gift in your pocket. Oh, hey, hey, hey. Three, two, one. If you're still awake, take a deep breath. Open your eyes. This journey was very personal to each one of you. The only thing I can say, because they didn't really show me anything that was happening other than towards the end, they came in, the power animals came in and pulled off all the burrs, all the sticky irritations that were stuck to you, and they put them in a sacred fire and they burned them all. So, so you should feel a lot lighter now, but since some of you might still be asleep and you might come back to this later, I just want you to have sweet dreams tonight and pay attention to what's going on in your dreams, who you're speaking to, what you may be talking about, and what power animals or spirit guides show up for you in your dreams. So that is all we have to share with you. We'll see you all again soon in the next episode. Take care.
This episode of Shaman's Drum has been brought to you by the Navajo Windtalkers, an etheric group of First Nations medicine people here to assist humanity in healing and rising to higher levels of consciousness. Thank you so much for joining us in this episode. We will see you again next time. Take care.